Hi, everyone. You don't need to beg anyone to see your value. That's not confidence. That's desperation in disguise. And let's be clear, you were never meant to shrink yourself to fit in someone else's narrow view of you. If someone can't see the gold in you, don't argue with them. Just know they don't know how to spot treasure. Think about it. Have you ever seen a diamond try to convince anyone it's valuable? No, it just shines. And the right eyes know exactly what they're looking at. That's how you have to carry yourself. You're not here to audition for roles in other people's lives where the script was never written for you. You're here to live your truth full out with no apologies. Sometimes people will ignore you not because you're unworthy, but because they can't handle your light. Maybe you're too bold, too honest, too ambitious, or just too you. And that's exactly why you shouldn't change. If anything, you need to lean in harder, focus on your strengths, build on your uniqueness. That's where your power is. Picture this: a lion never turns around when a small dog barks. Not because it's arrogant, but because it knows who it is. That's the energy you need. You know what you bring to the table. Stop trying to convince people who are too busy dragging their own chairs around to sit with you. If someone doesn't clap when you win, it's not your job to teach them rhythm. Keep moving, keep growing. Let your success speak so loudly it drowns out all the noise of doubt. You don't need everyone's applause. You just need your own belief. That's where the game changes. That's when life starts to respond in your favor. Let's be real. Carrying people, situations, or habits that drain you is like walking through life with a backpack full of rocks. Heavy, unnecessary, and completely your choice to drop. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion. You owe yourself your peace. And sometimes that means cutting ties with people who once felt like home. Growth is uncomfortable, but staying stuck in what no longer serves you, that's even worse. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people are chapters, not the whole book. You've got to recognize when the story is shifting. If someone's energy constantly makes you feel small, uncertain, or invisible, it's time to ask yourself why you're still holding on. Are you loyal, or are you afraid to be alone? There's a difference. One is strength, the other is self-betrayal dressed up in comfort. Look at your circle. After spending time with them, do you feel energized or exhausted, inspired or insecure? Your gut knows. Trust it. If you keep pouring into people who never pour back, you'll wake up one day with nothing left for yourself, and you can't fill your purpose from an empty cup. Letting go doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to choose peace over chaos. Think of a plant. If it's not growing, you don't yell at it. You check the environment. Too much shade, not enough water, wrong soil. Sometimes it's not you, it's where you are and who you're around. Change the environment and watch how fast you bloom. There's power in walking away quietly, without drama, without revenge, without an announcement. Just leave. Detach with grace and let the weight fall off. You don't need closure from people who never gave you clarity to begin with. You don't need to prove your worth to those who never tried to see it. Your peace is not negotiable. Your future depends on the space you create for it to grow. So if it drains you, distracts you, disrespects you, let it go. You've got better places to be, and you won't get there carrying baggage that was never yours to hold. Somewhere along the way, people started confusing self-focus with selfishness. But let's clear this up. Taking care of yourself, prioritizing your mental peace, your goals, your healing, that's not selfish. That's survival. You can't pour into others if you're running on empty. You can't be your best in relationships, in work, in life, if you're constantly ignoring your own needs to please everyone else. Think about how often you've said yes when your heart screamed no. How many times you've shown up for others while abandoning yourself. That's not noble. That's a slow way to burn out. You don't need to be a martyr to prove your love or loyalty. In fact, the people who truly care about you will want to see you thrive, not sacrifice your joy for their convenience. Valentino, focusing on yourself means becoming intentional. It's waking up and asking, what do I need today to grow, to feel grounded, to move forward? Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's boundaries. Maybe it's finally starting that project you've been putting off because you were too busy showing up for everyone else's dreams. Your life is not a side role in someone else's movie. It's your spotlight. Step into it. And here's something to remember. People might call you selfish when you stop doing what benefits them. Let them talk. Let them mislabel it. That's not your burden to carry. Your job is to honor your path, your peace, your priorities. You're not here to babysit other people's comfort at the cost of your own purpose. Ever seen what happens when you start watering a plant that's been neglected for too long? It comes back. Slowly, quietly, but it comes back. That's what happens when you choose yourself. You come back to life. You get stronger. You glow a little brighter. And the right people, the ones who belong in your space, will respect that glow. They'll never ask you to dim it. So don't let guilt talk you out of growth. Don't let fear make you small. Focus on yourself, like your life depends on it. Because honestly, it does. This is your one shot, and you deserve to live it fully, freely, and unapologetically, aligned with who you truly are. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Every time you give your attention, your emotions, your time to something or someone, you're making an investment. The question is, are you getting any return? Too many people are emotionally bankrupt because they've been handing out their energy like it's unlimited, letting anyone and anything drain them without even realizing it. You can't afford to let energy vampires take up space in your life. You know the type. The ones who only come around when they need something, the ones who bring drama, chaos, and negativity every time they show up. They leave you feeling depleted, distracted, and disconnected from your goals. And yet you keep allowing them back in out of guilt, obligation, or fear of conflict. But protecting your energy means learning to say no without explanation, to distance without drama, to walk away without guilt. Think of your energy like a phone battery. If you're constantly opening draining apps, gossip, toxic people, overthinking, meaningless scrolling, it's no wonder you feel tired before the day's even started. But when you charge yourself with purpose, positivity, rest, and meaningful connections, you start showing up differently. You move with clarity, not confusion. You create, you grow, you inspire. Protecting your energy also means setting boundaries, clear, firm, unapologetic. You don't have to explain why you're not answering that call at midnight, why you're not attending every event, why you're no longer entertaining conversations that go nowhere. Your peace is the reason, and that. Not everyone deserves access to you. Let that sink in. Just because someone has history with you doesn't mean they deserve a future with you. Your vibe is sacred. Your presence is a gift. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're too much just because they're not enough to handle it. Take your energy seriously. Guard it like you would your home. You wouldn't let just anyone walk in, throw trash on the floor, and leave. So why let them do it to your mind and heart? Be intentional. Be selective. Your energy builds your future. Make sure it's being used to build something real. The right people won't need convincing. They won't make you beg for support, question your worth, or explain why your dreams matter. They'll just get it. They'll show up without you having to chase them. They'll celebrate your wins like they're their own and sit with you in silence when life gets heavy. That's real support. It's effortless, it's mutual, and it never makes you feel like you're asking for too much. Oh, you've probably experienced the other kind, those who vanish when it's inconvenient, who only clap when they're ahead, who say they love you but act like they're in competition with you, and still you try to prove yourself, explain yourself, earn their loyalty. Why? You were never supposed to convince anyone to stay. You're not a salesman, and your life isn't a product up for debate. If someone needs constant reminders of your value, they're not your people. You shouldn't never feel like you're too loud, too driven, too passionate around the right crowd. Real ones will fuel that fire, not try to dim it. They'll speak your name in rooms you're not in, lift you when you're tired, and remind you of who you are when you start to forget. And here's the truth. If you haven't found those people yet, that's okay. Sometimes the season of isolation is where you learn how to be your own support system. It's where you build the confidence to stop settling for crumbs just because you're hungry for connection. Start observing, not begging. Watch who checks in when there's nothing to gain. Watch who listens without interrupting, who stays consistent without being asked. That's your tribe. The rest, let them drift. You're not losing them. You're making space. The more you respect yourself, the more life will respond by bringing people who match that energy. Support should never feel like a transaction. It's a rhythm, a quiet loyalty, a shoulder without conditions. So stop clapping for people who go silent when it's your turn. Real love, real friendship, real connection. They don't need a pitch. They feel like peace. And once you've felt that, you'll stop chasing anything less. The most important relationship you will ever have is with the person staring back at you in the mirror. That relationship sets the tone for everything else in your life. If you don't trust yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you're constantly tearing yourself down, don't be surprised when others treat you the same way. The world often mirrors how we treat ourselves. That's why building a strong, loving, and honest relationship with yourself isn't optional, it's essential. You can't expect others to value you when you don't even believe in your own worth. It starts with how you speak to yourself, how you hold yourself, how you show up for your goals even when no one is clapping. Do you encourage yourself when you fail? Do you set boundaries when you're tired? Do you rest when you need to? Or do you run yourself into the ground trying to prove something? Too many people are waiting for external validation, someone to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. But when that becomes your fuel, you'll be running on fumes the moment that praise disappears. True confidence is built when you validate yourself. When you say, I am enough, and actually believe it, not because someone else said so, but because you've done the work to know it's true. This relationship with yourself is where your power lives. It's where your decisions come from, where your boundaries are born, where your healing happens. If you're constantly outsourcing your self-worth to other people's opinions, you'll never feel stable. You'll bend, shrink, and twist just to fit into places you've outgrown. Treat yourself like someone you are deeply responsible for. Feed your mind with things that inspire you. Surround yourself with environments that respect you. Speak to yourself like you would a best friend, not with criticism, but with compassion. Because the truth is, you live with yourself every single day. That voice in your head, it's the one you hear the most. Make sure it's building you, not breaking you. When your relationship with yourself is strong, you stop seeking wholeness in other people. You start attracting better, choosing better, living better, because it all begins with how you see you.